So to do this, I want a rectangle, which I'm going to click here, and this wants to be 26mm wide, and it wants to have a height of 214mm. So there's my rectangle to start off with. I'm just going to place this up here like so. Now I'm going to need to make lots of little cuts out of this, and the shape I'm going to use to cut is another rectangle. I'm going to click here, and this is going to be 3mm wide and 88mm long. And there's my rectangle. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this right in that top corner there for now. We'll move in a second. So this rectangle here is going to cut out of my main rectangle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate what I want to cut, this one. So copy it, paste it in place, move it over, and then copy both of them and paste them in place, and then just move them down. Until they get to the bottom here. That's good. Right. Now the actual cuts I want to make a cut so that between here, that edge there, and this edge there, there's about a 20mm gap here. So it will fit into this section just here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move each of these ones down by 9mm. I'm going to drop those down by 9mm, sorry, 9.5mm, drop them down by 9.5mm, move these ones up by 9.5mm, and then that should give me my cuts exactly where I need them. So let's go over to transform, and on the Y for these two top ones here, 1 and shift 2, for these two I want to increase their Y by 9.5. So up here I'm just going to go add 9.5, that's going to move them down there. And on this one here I'm going to, they're a bit off at the moment, so let's just move them to 220 where they're supposed to be. Let's check that, so that's at 192.42, which doesn't seem right to me. Neither of those X's seem particularly correct. No, forgive me, they are correct. So we've moved those down and take this one and this one. I'm going to move these up by 9.5, so I need to subtract 9.5 off there. Try again, minus 9.5, and that's them there. Now the distance here should now be 20mm, and down here I should have a 9.5mm gap up at the top here, another 9.5mm gap. I'm just going to check that this middle one here is about 20mm. To do that I'm going to use a measure tool. So if you go over to what looks like a paint dropper here, a little eyedropper, hold and click, you get the measure tool, and then over in my navigator, which has popped over on the right here, if I just drag down, I click there, I can see that my height now is 19mm, which is exactly right. So a 19mm gap there, that will fit nicely into that 20mm gap we've placed there. So that's all correct. Now just to do the cutting out, select and select all my rectangles, scroll down, select here and here, and then just come over to where it says Pathfinder, and we'll do a cutout like so. And that's nearly done now. Now in this central part here, we're going to make a little hole where to allow the sound to escape easier, so that my door buzzer is a little bit louder. So to do that I'm just going to take a circle, an ellipse, I'll click and let's make that a, let's go for 30mm by 30mm to start off with. Let's line that up so it's in the middle here, so it's central. And then let's just reduce that size. So I can do that using my transform tool over here. I can make that whatever size I like. Let's go 20 by 20, see what it looks like. That's a little bit too big still. I think I'll go for, let's try 15 by 15. That looks a little bit more sensible. So I've got a 15 by 15mm hole that I'm going to cut out there, but I'm going to make it like a grating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rectangle, just a normal rectangle, drop that in, make it 3mm wide, make it about 20mm high. Let's move that in, place that in the centre of my circle to start off with. There, that's in the centre. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that along the x coordinate by 1.5. So just add 1.5 there, and then I'm going to duplicate it. Let's undo that actually, let's move it by 3mm there, that's it. And then Control C, Control Shift V to paste in place. And now I'm going to move it by 6 in the other direction, so -6. And there we have the beginnings of my grating. Let's just cut out those rectangles from that circle. So select the circle, hold down Shift and Shift again, and go to my Pathfinder tool and do my cutout. So nice little grating there, and then I'm going to cut this out of my main shape. So again, select, and cut. You can see, I can now see my R board, and that is the completed finished case design.